I have thoughts that I can share. I do most of the sharing of that thoughts already on the podcast.
Right.
Why would I just limit these thoughts to the podcast if I also had social media?
Why you hating because I'm on a big comfy couch? Look at this that, man.
I don't really hate it. No, this is let you nuts hang, you know?
Right,
It's good.
right.
Get comfortable. This is the show.
What's up, y'all? Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. This show is hilariously inappropriate but intellectual beyond belief. We gonna get into some deep stuff, but I'm gonna let my nuts hang at the same time because we're not in the normal chairs. So I might as well let my caboose feel loose and nice.
I felt like, you know what? I'm able to let the Adidas tracksuit rock today because I ain't got to worry about the green stripes.
Right. I was a nigga I would have came in. I done came in camo or something like that. Had I known what I was getting into. But yeah. Again, hilariously inappropriate, intellectual beyond belief. All streaming platforms, you can find us, you can hear us if you're hearing with us, or you're rocking with us for the next few. We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
All streaming platforms possible. Podical Sons Podcast. And on every streaming platform, you can find Podical Sons Podcast. You should also find the link area where you can add us on the socials and stuff, from Facebook to all the above. See, when you're comfortable, you can just rock.
Yeah, it just flows more.
It flows better.
Yeah,
better. So yes, we are here.
Yeah.
Sit back and yeah.
Do you think it's those chairs that give us our aggressive abilities?
No, I think I'm naturally aggressive.
Yeah.
I think I'm naturally aggressive and stuff.
Right,
and I think the thing is stuff too, and I was telling somebody, like, I really do want to tone down. Like you said it.
Right.
You know, I mentioned it to a few people and stuff like that, whatever. But I was like, Earth today is a different landscape.
A different landscape.
The fact that when I mentioned to even the younger demographic, because I'm older now, whatever, when I mentioned to the younger demographic and stuff, saying like, hey, you know, I was born in 1985, they look like, and you hear slick talk, were you a slave? Were your relatives slaves? And stuff
Oh, they do talk spicy like that?
Yeah, like they're looking like, yo, how old are you and everything like that. Before the 2000s is wild to some of these punk ass kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look at this stuff, I was like, you guys make me aggressive. I'm not giving you the power, but it was dormant until I heard some stuff and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm seeking peace. But then when it goes on and on and on, it's like the camel, you know, the straw broke the camel back.
Yeah.
That's when I strike.
Right. Yeah. Do you think in this day and age, we really need to look at developing tougher skin?
For which generation? Are we talking generational people?
Just in general, yeah.
I believe we have it in us,
right?
But there's somewhere where we condemn it. So I want to say, let's say, from human history that I gathered and stuff, the internet raised me, everybody.
Yeah,
I look at it stuff as where before the kings used to be on the battlefield.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And now we've come into a way and stuff where the kings are not on the battlefield no more.
Right.
The kings are in high towers or, you know, or in kingdoms, let's say from Putin to Trump. They're in their specific, you know, places of regions and everything like that.
Yeah.
Giving orders and stuff to so many other battlefields.
Right.
Yeah. So before the kings or the peoples and stuff, whatever, they were suited up, booted up, ready to handle the tough shit. Tough times make tough people.
That's correct.
Soft times make softer people.
Correct.
Right?
Correct, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking at stuff, it's like, I'm not saying we have to have fist-to-fist combat or squabbles and stuff that frequent and everything like that, whatever, but I look at it stuff as where I think we're civilized enough to do shit like the purge. Not killing people, but like, you know, you got beef with me, I got beef with you. If it's like that and stuff, whatever, put your funds up. Because I look at it stuff as where a gun, let's say a legal gun might run you like maybe $500 and stuff, whatever, in America.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And bullets are like 17 cents to like 21 cents and stuff now, whatever it costs of living going up, whatever, right?
Right.
I look at the stuff as that if you're going to spend that much money to say you're going to get gun and armor, throw that money up in a cage match or something like that, whatever. Squabble.
Yeah.
Squabble. And when you squabble and stuff like that, whatever, we cease it. You come after the person after you lost, or you go after the person again, you have to get locked up.
Sounds fair to me.
You have to get locked up.
Sounds fair to me.
Because if we legit run a fair one
Yeah.
and everything like that, whatever, people will talk different. Like if you took an L, and stuff, whatever, you just gotta hug that.
Right. Right.
You want to rematch with said person, now you're gonna pay double.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna cost you to like get over your resentment. You get me?
But you know what? I don't think if you're fighting a fair one and you lose with dignity, I think the respect will be there for you.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. Because I
for you.
think like some people and stuff, whatever, might come at you sideways or something like that, whatever. But I think
Right.
and everything and stuff, whatever, I look at it like, if I see that you were in it with like some guy, I don't know, at an intersection and stuff, whatever, and he's like, yo, put your money up.
Yeah.
Let's go squabble it out, whatever, right?
Right, right.
And like, when you see the ticket and stuff, whatever, like say before you get ready to go to the meetup and everything, you look like, damn, this is a tank of a match. Right? And you put your mouth guard on and everything, but you still go into the match. I'm respecting you that you're going in.
I'm respecting that you're going
in.
in.
This tank of a man who's like 6'7" or something like that, whatever, right?
Right.
And you don't take him and stuff. I'm like, yo, boss, don't feel bad.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad.
But you can't crack his dome no more. Cause I look at this stuff as like, are you gonna pay double for a rematch?
All right. Okay. All right. So let's continue with this. All right. So let's say, are we saying it has to be a squabble up? Because let's say like it's two nerds and they say they don't want to squabble up, but they want like a battle of wits.
No. Soft times.
Soft times?
Soft times.
So it's got to be a squabble up.
It has to be a squabble up and stuff for that. And then I think the people that would hear me say this is like, oh, that's male toxicity or that's chauvinistic and stuff like that, whatever, and everything. I'm like, no, you stay in your weight class.
Right.
Women can squabble up and stuff like that too. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like you need to put these chicks in roles, like in corn rolls and everything.
So no hair grabbing, no nothing.
Person grabbing hair,
Yeah.
yo, you're losing points.
Yeah.
You're losing on the scorecard.
Okay.
Because I see some women and stuff like, I'm grabbing her by her wig. Bam, bam, bam. You can't do that.
No.
Now, if you grab by her neck and you know, bam, 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 and stuff for them in the squabble, like,
Right.
okay.
We'll give you that.
Okay.
We'll give you
But
that.
I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, yo, some of them stuff, they don't fight fair ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, the street beefs, like when I saw some of their stuff, whatever,
Yeah.
I was looking like, they have sportsmanlike conduct, whatever. And it's like just, it's like a bootleg, like Don King simulation kind of fighting thing. But I see it though, and I look at it stuff, and I'm like, you know, this will silence a lot of noise. You know, people move different and stuff. You can tell people who never got beat when they were little. You
Yeah.
can tell people that never got their ass whooped and stuff, whatever. You can tell when some people need a punch to the throat and stuff, whatever. You can tell these people, and then you can look at the stuff like you're not a violent dude, but you go about places and stuff to a whole bunch of places and everything like that,
Yeah.
and you're well respected.
Right.
No one is not looking at you like, oh, this nigga Smooth never got his ass whooped, or this nigga never got his ass beat, whatever, right?
Right.
Because you're well respected. But you see somebody talking out of the neck weighing only 100 pounds, miss me, squabble up, dog. Yo.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your mouth
Put
is.
your money where your mouth is.
And then you take this L and shit like that, whatever.
Take that.
We're doubling the fee. They're doubling your fee for you want rematch.
Yeah.
I proved my point.
Yeah.
You talk too much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can rock with that.
That's always my theory, but
I can rock with that.
those are my shower thoughts I have. I try to stay away from them and bringing them out loud. Sometimes people look like, But like I looked at the duality of a lot of these things. So I looked at it and I was like, the bad part of it, while we're here, before we move on.
All right.
The bad part of it and stuff is, it's promoting violence.
Yeah.
Right? It's promoting violence. I want to say you're right. The battle of the wits and stuff, whatever, things like that could take place.
Yeah.
But then there's still people and stuff like, you know those badass, I'm smarter than you, I'm smarter than you, no, I'm smarter than you, no, I'm smarter than you and stuff, whatever. No. Brain has gotten us further in places.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, whatever, but I'm like, yo, I think this is time for brawn.
Okay.
This is time for brawn. Like I said, our kings are sitting in towers.
Yeah.
Our kings are not on battlefields fighting.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as like, that's a lot of brain to get there. I'm not saying they don't have brawn. I seen Putin and stuff out here, black belt and everything, wrestling bears and all that type of stuff.
Right.
I'm not saying that with it, but I like that image and stuff for a king.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's funny when someone told me about like, people do like a declaration of war. I mean, it was like, what do you mean they do like a declaration of war? They say, yeah, I mean, the parties get together. They sit at a table, and there's food, drink, and then they decide if they're gonna go to war or not. Then they go home to their peaceful house and send your kids back on the battlefield. Like, this is definitely not like the charging generals back in the day. Yeah. The king leading the, you know what I mean? It's like
leading the charge.
King leading this charge is like, nah, the times is
they're far removed. It's
far
brain.
removed.
It's all brain.
Yeah.
It's all brain and stuff, whatever, right? I look at it stuff as like, from we had, like, let's say from the Canadian side, you had prime ministers to, and I'm not knocking, let's say, Chrétien when he was on.
Right.
Right? But he didn't seem like a battlefield type of person.
Nah, he didn't seem like
right.
one. No.
And he looked like he just was like a more a strategist,
right,
tactician type person. Brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at him like a lot of the brains and stuff, whatever. Some of their ideas might not be the greatest and stuff like that. And there's lives at stake and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't try to think that you're better than anybody and stuff, whatever, by sacrificing so many people's children and stuff like that, whatever, with your bad decisions. Your bad decisions need to hold weight and responsibility and stuff and accountability and stuff, whatever, to all the lives you've lost. And like sometimes when these soldiers come back in coffins and everything, quite frankly, I feel like a lot of prime ministers, presidents and stuff, whatever, should be at most of these group funerals.
They 100%
should be present at these
100%.
funerals and stuff, whatever. You're the leader of this country. You put these kids and stuff, whatever, went out there and stuff to go fight for the country.
For the country.
You run.
Yeah.
And their lives are gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the young, but the people just in general and stuff like that,
right,
whatever.
Yeah.
No. Prime ministers might be popping bottles and stuff and talking declarations of war and everything like that in Armani suits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a madman on a comfy couch.
Wasn't that Musk's beef that delegations went to Ukraine and they sat up in fancy hotels?
We'll get to his
we'll get to that.
We'll get to his bitch ass. Well, okay. Tell me what we're about to enjoy this week, man.
Well, this is episode part 2 of the Undisclosed location. I'm happy we finished moving.
Right. Vibe. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think for me,
right,
I kind of had like a weekend to kind of just like understand and see some viewpoints and stuff, whatever, in my world.
Yeah.
Had a moment and stuff, whatever, too, and everything, not teary and stuff, whatever, but just like in this situation and stuff, looking like where everything else is trajecting and stuff and where everything is going.
Yeah.
Like everything's on the right path and stuff, whatever occurs in flowers and stuff again. And like, I like the landscape I'm in right now.
Good.
I really like the landscape I'm in and stuff there from like, like ventures, we got shit cooking soon and stuff like that, whatever.
Yeah.
To like mental space, to like my son and like fam wise and everything tribe wise and stuff, whatever. So like it's good. So I was looking at it stuff, I just like kind of got a moment of stuff to kind of just breathe
reflect?
deep. Yeah. No, I always try to reflect often and everything like that. It's just that like it's not enough water. Because I should have gotten shower thoughts. If I can sit there or stand there for a hot
You'll be there until the water get cold. Run out of hot water.
Shrivel. Yeah, I shrivel. When I realized I shrivel, like, damn, I wasted a lot of water.
It's a lot of water. When you shrivel, that's a lot of water.
Shrivel up, whatever. But it's like, yeah, it was a moment of stuff like that. And it was like a moment of clarity. So it was good. It was level up.
That's dope.
It felt like a level up and stuff, whatever. So that's what brought me joy. I think, like, one day at a time, man. I don't know why I never made that into Associated Sons. It's like, take everything one day at a time. A lot of people and stuff, whatever, try to just digest everything and try to, compact it into so soon.
Yeah.
And it's always a problem to me. Like, we have all the technology in the world, and the animals of nature and stuff do not.
Yeah.
And look at how we want to know the sex of a baby and all that type of stuff when like a bird could be laying on an egg
Yeah.
and just like they just know a baby's coming out.
That's it.
They
That's
don't
it.
got no heart monitor. They don't got no devices
Nothing.
connected to it, whatever. They're not doing no checkups.
Nah.
They just sitting there patient.
Right.
Patient.
Yeah.
Patient. Hardly anybody today has patience for shit. They
Hardly.
can't wait for nothing and stuff, whatever.
Anybody, man.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm looking like, but in nature and stuff, whatever, these things are still going on. So I'm looking, I'm like, that's why when I go on my little walks and everything, I'm looking like, why aren't we just patient? Why do we need to know everything? How come we just can't trust the process? Just take it one day at a time.
Right.
Put your best foot forward and then bada bing. If it don't work out for you and stuff, it's okay. I think if you give it like at least 5 good tries on one particular thing,
Yeah.
and you haven't struck goal, keep it pushing.
I think a lot of us have to learn how to be patient in a world that's not patient.
Yeah, but if we say we're in a world that's not patient, again, we can still go look at a robin's nest
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And that mother robin,
Right.
and just again, being patient to wait for the eggs to hatch.
And then and
You
that's
have
what,
to find that.
and that's what I mean. Like people have to realize how to be patient in a world that's not patient. So it's like, what do I do to ground myself? Like, what do I do to just make everything's moving in this fast pace. What do I do to make the world just slow down so I can enjoy it? And a lot of times, people don't understand how much a good walk could do for you.
Of course.
Just being outside and observing everything that is nature, just the sounds, the smell, the sun touching, like physically touching your skin. The heat you feel, that's the sun touching your skin.
We get vitamins from the sun touching our skin, right?
Right.
But there's people and stuff that's dormant downstairs or something in a dark place and stuff, whatever, without even an ounce of vitamin D slapping their skin. So
But just going back to that you taking it one day at a time. Shout out to Auntie B. Auntie B said something that it just pretty much stuck with everybody. She's like, 2 days you can't change. There's 2 days in the week that you can't change. Yesterday and tomorrow. When she said that, everybody was like, yeah. You can't change what's happened in the past. You can't change what's yet to come because it hasn't come yet. So you really got to just be able to live in the moment.
yeah.
Enjoy that one day at a time because that's all you really have. You could just read the moment you have.
See, an 80-year-old said it, and me and my 40 self already got it.
There you go.
I told you, man. It's the comfy couch.
You're ahead of your time.
It's the comfy couch. It's the comfy couch. See, when my cheeks feel different and stuff like that, whatever, the vibe is different. Yeah. I told you,
It's
man.
all
Remember the
it's
first
all
time you
good.
tried to put me in those rock hard wooden chairs?
Those
That
chairs.
stuff, whatever. People's like, yo, you talk wild stuff. Come my cheeks. The hardwood.
The first 15 minutes, once it got past that, you was like, you
Yeah.
gotta lean over to one side.
You had to make sure you couldn't record with a wallet in your back pocket,
yeah,
whatever.
those
You had
things.
uneven cheeks and stuff like that, whatever.
The beginning days.
Yeah, humble beginnings. You always gotta reflect
Humble
on those
beginnings.
days,
Humble
man.
beginnings.
You gotta reflect on those days and stuff like that, whatever, too. When especially when it gets like even super big and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Like I always commend people and stuff, and like when they pull up in their Bentleys or their limos and stuff, whatever. Stop the car. It's like, oh, this is my first spot.
Right,
This is where it
yeah.
all began.
Yeah.
Like I remember I seen Jay-Z one time and stuff. He went to the person who lived in his current apartment that his family lived in Marcy.
Right.
And like gave them bread and checked them out and everything like that. Oh my gosh, you're Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I was like, the humble beginnings, man.
It's, you know what? When you say that, it brought me back to the time when I went back to England. And my brother said, you know what I mean, let's go around. And we started walking around different places. And he says, I'm gonna take you to the house you were born in.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, yo, that's dope. So
You take a photo?
no, I didn't get, because I didn't have my thing with me. So we were just strolling. So we just, you know what I mean, we're talking and strolling. And he was like, this is the house. And I'm looking at this, like this small, tiny house. And even though I wasn't born yet, I could picture my mom and dad and my sisters as like little kids saying to themselves, we're moving from here and we're gonna go to Canada and start a new life. And I was like, wow. I was like, here I am almost 40 odd years later. This is the house that I was born in. You know what I mean? And it's just, you're right. It's like you see those humble beginnings and you really, you know, it really put in perspective of my father and my mother wanting more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just wanting more. And it just, this is the more. What, you know what I mean? This is the accumulation of the more. Me sitting down in my own house, doing my own thing with my own family, trying to recreate that vibe or recreate that feeling to pass on.
You can't replicate a good moment.
You can't.
You cannot replicate a great moment. That's one thing. And that's why it pays to be present in the moments.
Yeah.
Right? Because they might not come back as the same way, the same kind of vibe, the same look, the same time.
Right.
Like I look at it stuff as like, let's say if you were in a moment of stuff in your old parents' house where you probably went from running around in the front door and stuff like that as a little kid, running up and down, making noise and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now your body's a little bit bigger and everything like that, whatever. You're probably like posted up by like the phone or something like that, talking to some girl or stuff, whatever. I'll meet you at the park after dark when my parents go to sleep.
Right.
You're still in the same house, whatever, to like, oh shit, like, you know, you start dating your wife or something like that, whatever. At the time, these are different moments in your life. And these are different great moments and stuff, and you can't get them back.
You can't get them
and you
back.
need to be present when they come in.
Yeah,
right?
You can't get them back. And not only that, you can't get them back. Some moments, like, some moments you only experience, and the generation after will never get to experience.
No, they have. I feel like they have their own great moments.
They'll have their own great moments. But I mean, I think of like, you know, kids nowadays, it's like everything is just videos, phones, that, you know what I mean, games. And it's like, yo, no, playing tag outside the middle of the street till the street lights came on, like, those were like, to me, those are precious moments. And I'm like, yo, you won't, it's hard for me to explain to y'all, for you to understand this. Only people of my generation will get it.
Yeah.
Will understand it. Right?
But but that's what I'm saying. Like I look at like they have their own great moments.
Oh yeah.
And I look at it stuff as where, and to like the younger demographic that might hear this,
right?
Like I look at it stuff as where it's not a shot to them, because I look at it stuff as where, and I'm just calling Travis Scott. When Travis Scott had that concert and stuff on Fortnite, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Think about all the kids of that generation that was plugged in to that whatever. The ones that might be like, I can't have, let's say they don't live in America. And they're like, I can't afford a ticket to go to America or to a concert in Houston where he's from.
Yeah.
You know, so Astro World even. Yeah. To enjoy this, whatever. But me and my homies from Poland, we love us some rap. Right. Even though our parents tell us it's not good for them and stuff like that, whatever. And now we plugged in on Fortnite with other people that fucked with us, and they can't replicate a great moment like that, because they be like, yo, the joke and stuff that I see now on the socials with the I love that those kids, whatever, I call them kids, because it's like, yo, some man's never left Toronto, yo. They never left our they're in Scarborough right now. We're in Brampton. They're in Brampton. We're in Jamaica, dog. Like, that was such a beautiful moment for those young men. Yeah. And I looked at it and stuff, I was like, you can't replicate a moment like that for them.
You can't.
Like, think about how many times you went to Jamaica, or I went to Jamaica and everything like that. We're like, yo, calm down, kid. Yeah. Like, you know, pipe down. But I'm looking like, He's right.
He's right.
And let them have their moments are just different from ours.
Yeah.
I look at it stuff as we're probably like we're definitely the last generation to go outside. Right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I look at it stuff as like with them and stuff, whatever is like, I don't know, streaming, like doing things with streamers, and I don't know them like that. So, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like their
Yeah.
world, they find
That's
these
the
great moments.
community.
And I think that when adulting, when this stuff, so I'm going from, what is it? Love that British movie. Adulthood, from like kid adulthood
Yeah.
to adulthood, like when they're adulting,
Yeah.
they'll look back and stuff as like, fuck. Because I mean, like, think about some of the kids and stuff that probably went to school with a friend that they had in the 4th grade. They moved or somebody moved and everything, and they probably kept in touch. They probably didn't keep in touch.
Right.
But they're looking at stuff as like, they have photo proof of it, whatever. Like, oh, you remember Josh? He used to live in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Josh is gone.
yeah.
Oh, man. No, we still play PlayStation with Josh. Yeah. Josh's aunt still comes here and stuff like that. And then their world.
Bro, you know what's so crazy about that? I had an old friend who used to live on my street hit me up on Facebook about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, dope. That's dope.
2 weeks ago, and it's this exact same thing. He's like, "Yo, remember so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah, they're on Facebook too." And I was like, "I'm like these people I haven't seen in over 40 odd plus years." But again, these were like hide and go seek, play tag, play dodgeball in the middle of street kids, right? And like you think back and it's like that's a part of your childhood that you get to share with the people who were there at that time. And you're not always there to connect, but when you do connect, that's the bond that you share.
Of course.
That's the happy moment that you share.
But that's the work you have to put in to get to that moment, right?
Right.
Like I look at it stuff as like, you have to play your part to, let's say, add that person on Facebook or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And that person has to play their part to like drop in every now and then and drop a message and stuff, whatever. Or, even send a meme now, like a form of communication.
Right.
And it takes work and stuff like that from both sides. Remember, everything that ends in the word ship, you put in work to keep afloat.
Right.
So now when you come to this moment and stuff now, whatever, it doesn't have to be a rock solid, oh, buddy, old pal, call me every day type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's at least signified and stuff like, yo, this is how much work I can put in to this friendship currently in my world, in my life, and everything. Hopefully that's good enough for you. And the person's like, well, I agree. This is much I can do because I got my own shit going on, whatever. But this works for us. We'll try a thing every now and then. Thing is thing. Like, to, every now and then meet up for drinks or some shit like that.
Like a high school reunion.
Yeah. and I find those things and stuff just even dope in itself and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Especially to the folks that might still live in those towns or those cities and stuff, whatever, because shit's expanding.
Yeah.
So people looking like, yo, this neck of woods might not serve me anymore.
Right.
I need to move on to like cheaper, greener pastures. And they just slowly but surely start pulling it away from certain places.
Sound like a Hallmark film when she goes back and she sees Josh. Josh is all grown up now.
That's me.
That's you, Josh. Me. All grown up now.
My dream, folks, is still to be in a Hallmark Christmas movie featuring Tatiana Ali. Call me. Yeah, man. I like the couch.
The couch, man. The couch.
All right, man. Let's get to the first poll.
All right.
First poll. Do you clap back or do you sit back? That was the first poll and stuff of that week. And
I'm interested to know what was the
62% said they sit back.
62% says they sit back.
62% said they sit back. Tell me how you feel. You already know I'm clapping.
Yeah. We know you're going clapping number one over there.
Yo, I'm clapping in the rafters. Yo.
Gun clapping number one over there. I used to be the sit back person, but I find more recently I clap back.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think it's the social media.
Talk about it. Because we always talk about social media changing people's mental health and mindset.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Rock.
I think it's the social media when I especially when I see stuff that don't sit right with me, I feel like, nah, I'm a comment and let you know, get piece of this mind right here.
So do you feel that social media kind of giving you Twitter finger strength, so to speak?
Not
Because I see, go ahead.
not the fact that it gives me a Twitter finger strength,
Yeah.
but I haven't been exposed to such idiocy on such a level. I think that's what it is, to the point where I'm like, okay, this is now landed on my plate. I could either ignore it or I could address it. Let's address it.
So social media is scary to me.
It's a dark place.
Because I look at it, stuff for me, social media and stuff, whatever. I want to say it's good to get tidbits of like what's going on in the world.
Right.
Entertainment, of course. I like to laugh. I love to laugh.
Yeah, of
and
course.
smile and everything. And yeah, I try to make it social as much as I can because that's what I took it for.
Yeah.
But then even when I see people with private profiles, I'm like, how you come on social media to be private?
private,
Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so analog and this shit don't work for me.
Yeah.
And everything like that, whatever. So I just, hey,
Jump in,
all
jump
right,
out.
I'm out.
Post and ghost. Post and
And
ghost.
to all the people that I love and I rocks with, and even the fan mail that comes into the DM, give me time. I'm gonna get there.
He'll get there with it.
Get there. I promise
Until
you.
then, it's post and
I
ghost.
get you. Because I'm in group chats with this dude, and he'll see like this motherfucker liking some shit from March. Yes, I'll get there.
I'm just getting around to it.
Yeah, I get there.
I'm just getting around to
Because
it.
I got a text message like, yo, you good, man? You all right? I was like, yeah. It's like, now you want to light things 1:00 in the morning and stuff, whatever. A month later, I was like, I have time.
I have time.
So, but yeah, I get to it. I think I don't try to let social media take me there because, and I don't even want to get all religious, but I feel like I'm going to remix and butcher a Bible verse. So let the religious folk come for me. I don't mind the correction for this, but it's kind of like when the world is crazy, stick to what you know.
Right.
And it's a verse similar like that to the Bible. Because it's kind of like, this world is just different.
It's very different.
Like people aren't friendly. We talk about lack of compassion. Everybody is like burnt out.
Yeah.
Like people are just going through different type of chronicles and stuff. And that's not including like the foods and the things we're indigesting, that's frying us and killing us and everything. Like I said, the comfy couch bring out a lot. But when we're flowing. But I look at it stuff as like, yo, why is there in some grocery stores, there's like one aisle that says natural foods? What the fuck is the rest of the grocery store?
In the rest of the grocery store.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you are what you eat a lot of times and stuff, whatever too, right?
100%.
So I try to maintain that, like, you know, what my diets are mentally and physically and stuff to make sure I'm right.
Right.
And I'm able to function and stuff like that, whatever, right?
Right.
So social media can help. It's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword.
But some people don't know balance. So, and I found my balance.
Yeah.
I'm still out plugged out in the real world. I walk, I do all this type of stuff. I communicate with real life people and have conversations. I run topics by them and stuff like that, whatever. And then I'm like, hey, I'll jump into social media. All right, that's too much. All right, balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
That's good. That's good.
People haven't found a balance. And I pray you don't let them take you there, whatever.
No.
I feel like if you're doing it, doing it for exercise.
Yes. But that's it.
Just make sure you're still inside.
Yeah. Just
you're still inside.
And then just jump back.
All right.
Just jump back up.
All right. Yeah. I clap. Tell me why you clap back now.
It's funny when you said that, because I jump in and I'll even totally forget. And it's like, you'll be like, yo, what did you do? Like, I just take the post and like, there's 1 million responses or checks. And I was like, oh shit. And I was just clapping that day. I
think I love the Mr. T one.
Mr. T.
The gold chains. Yo. Smooth's a menace to society, but I like it though. I see it, it's like, yo, I felt that one, whatever. I was like, go live my real world life, come back to this world, like. Bounce, like, still? I was like, months later, a year later?
Months later.
I was like, I'm not mad at it, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I look at it as like, just don't get lost in the sauce. And I hope you find it, and I hope everybody find their balance. It's the balance, man.
Yeah.
The balance.
The balance.
But I want to know why you clap now. I honestly want to know why you clap. They're like, I'm not putting it all on social media, but like, you can have the thought.
Yeah.
And I feel like some haters or some villains might have the thought.
Yeah.
To act on it, it takes courage. So why did you start acting on it?
No, it's the villainous thought.
Yeah.
And just really knowing that I have thoughts that I can share, and I do most of the sharing of that thoughts already on the podcast.
Right.
Right. So this is just sometimes an extension of my thoughts. You know, I don't have to. I'm like, why would I just limit these thoughts to the podcast if I also have social media to go ahead and express my feelings?
You'll find your tribe so much more out there. And no shade.
Yeah. And to just piggyback off of what I'm just saying, it became more evident when I started seeing you doing TikTok videos. Because it's the same thing, right? It's not, you know, it's that you're clapping back, but you're taking an extension of yourself from the pod, realizing that, yo, what you have to offer doesn't necessarily have to stay in the pod realm.
Yeah.
There's other mediums where you can let this happen. You can let it happen and actually reference it back to the pod.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay. That's why if you notice, I do a lot of clapping, but a lot of clapping is from the Podical Sons page. Because it's not like, oh, these people are thinking about something different. Who are they? They go to the page, right? So it's like, I do it for the reason of just being able to express.
It's still you.
Yeah, it's still me.
And
I
this is
express
part
the
of
thoughts.
You. Yeah.
But I'm realizing now that, yo, you know, these are also tools that lets people know that there's a deep side of things over here, right? So, yo.
I think it's just splashy, shallow, splash and laughs.
But not even, because a lot of
We
times
brush our teeth. So we show our teeth a lot. I don't understand.
A lot of times people will see the page and maybe not necessarily see the characters and say, okay, this is that. But if you inject the character, sometimes they have no choice but to see it. So then now when they see it now, I was like, oh shit, this is okay. Let me go and check it out. I had on the Podical side, some dude slid into the DM and he's like, yo, I really like what you guys are doing. Can, come on the show? Since I'm looking at him, it's like, you look like an artist. We really don't do like artist type of stuff. But then I was like, let me look further. Let me actually go to your page. Let me not just look and judge. Let me research.
We look and we don't judge. That's hard as fuck today.
Hard as hell.
Okay.
Let me research. So now I'm research. Now I'm seeing, he's doing all these things community-wise, for like the Black community-wise. Rapping is just an extension of it. So I said, oh, okay. So now you're choosing us because we're not just about rap. The conversation that you want to have is different. But you found us because of that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like sometimes we interject ourselves into places and it just... Another one is like, I had... we're gonna do the video shoot for Usual Suspects on the 22nd of this month. So Sos had posted something. Sos is one of the members of the Usual Suspects, and I was tagged in it. And then probably like a couple days after, all these other producers started following me. Right? And I get messages, yo, I like your stuff. Your stuff is really dope. This, that, and the third. But it's because they've been introduced to me from someone else. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that being accessible is one thing, but Interjecting, I think, is another. And I think a lot of times I'm not a salesman. I'm low key. I don't really try to sell myself to that extent. But I realize, business is business. Promotion and marketing goes a long way. It's part of doing business. So, you know what I mean? So the more that I engage, like I said, the more clapbacks, these things help. These things work. It's funny because, I'll see posts where you'll see people clapping, and then right after you see, man, you got shit on your page. That person went to go look at the clapper's page because that person clapped.
That's true.
So
I do that.
Yeah,
I do that.
So this is how it works, right? So, yeah, man, I think that that's really the for me the thought behind it. Like, I'm here. I got time to kill. Let me throw some clapping. Let me jump on, Podical Sons and, add my 2 cents worth, and hopefully people, see it. They rock with the opinion. And if they rock with the opinion, hopefully it invites them to want to try and find out more.
Do you clap in, that's you clap in the digital world. Do you clap in the real world?
Nah.
No.
Because a lot of times
you sit back in the real world.
Well, a lot of times I'm not in a situation for me to.
Well, I want to say that they don't have to happen like frequent, right?
Yeah.
Like I look at the stuff as like, all right, think about this. Driving.
Okay. So when you said right before you said that, I was gonna say, if I'm in the road, like on the road, that's a different story. It's Clap City.
Okay,
it's Clap City. Clap City. Clap City. Clap City. Clap City.
Horn on the beat. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. I'm a firm believer in you have to teach you how to treat you. But
right.
Kind of stuff like, again, even in traffic and stuff, whatever. I don't know you, you don't know me, and we probably might never see each other.
Never see each other
again after this 90-second interaction and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I look at it stuff as where I won't clap too much to the traffic folk, especially living here.
Yeah.
Like I look at it stuff as like, I don't know where people get their driving skills from, or they get a license from a cereal box for it's free. They just have to pay for it.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as like the road is just different.
It is.
Right. And like RIP to the peoples that, are going from like car accidents and everything like that on a daily rate and stuff. And like, it's different. So I don't try to clap too much.
Okay.
Hell, I mean, Styles P had an interaction with a dude and stuff, whatever. Or a road rager and stuff like that, whatever, right? Like maybe doesn't it make sense to even clap like that anymore? But I look at it stuff like we're in close range proximity.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect you and hopefully you respect me.
Yeah.
And you let me know if I say something out of line that you don't like. I would choose to care and just remove myself from certain type of things. Like I want to say like my lingo and like, my verbiage and stuff might be more different than some others. And if they get offended by the way I might say some things, with all due respect, I'm going to give them that respect, right? Okay. I'm not changing up and stuff for them. I'm doing it for a level of respect. Right?
Yeah.
But when I have to feel like it's equal, once I don't feel it's equal now, whatever.
Then it's a different story.
It's now disrespect.
It's a different story. Yeah.
Clap City, bitch. Clap City, bitch. That's where it is.
That's a remix. That's the remix. Yo. That's the remix of the day.
So yeah, shout out to the sit back people. We see you, man.
We see you, man. We see you.
I just on that clap back.
Okay, before we move on, when you talk about the road rage, you know what I use now? After that story, when you told me, when dude honked the horn so you could look over, so he can give you the finger.
Oh,
that's my move. That's my move, bro.
So the folks check it. Why we got you here?
Yeah.
Many moons ago, I was driving home to Cleveland, and I was on the QEW. No, I was on the QEW. I was on the 427 South. To the ones that know within the GTA area, so I'm driving home to Cleveland, Ohio, and it was an early morning where I just felt like I'm gonna shower, put on my joggers, and just hit the road.
Right.
Some dudes driving slow as shit in the fast lane. Right? It's about not even 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun's not up yet. Right? So it's dark.
Right.
Fuck you, Swoop. So and it's dark, and I'm driving in the fast lane. I'm looking like, what's wrong with this guy? I didn't high beam him. I didn't flicker stuff, whatever, because I'm looking like it's about like 4, pushing 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
No one needs all that kind of static.
Right.
Once he seen I was that close, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to move over because I have a long drive ahead of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I move over to the right lane, Tweedle dumbass over here moves over to the right lane. So I'm looking like, what the hell and what the heliante? So I move back into the left lane.
Yeah.
I move back into the left lane. He knows I'm about to stare at this motherfucker. He knows.
He knows.
What does he do? Keeps his head straight as an arrow. I hope YouTube and Spotify see this.
Yeah.
Turns on his inside light. So I'm looking like, oh, he's turned on his light. He must be looking for directions. I'm giving him the benefit of doubt.
Right.
My defenses went down.
Right.
This man had his head straight, and that middle finger was planted on the glass, and he just drove with the other hand to make sure he turned on the light so I can see his middle finger. What a dirtbag, yet funny man.
I was like, genius. I gotta do something like that.
I'll never forget his face.
Use that.
I'll never forget his face. He's like a
gotta
freaking
use
serial
that.
killer too.
I gotta use that.
So I left it, but yeah. Digress.
You digress.
Yes.
Next poll.
Next poll, Big Comfy Couch says, is validation meaningless? And it was a 50-50 split. Tell me what you rock with. I see both sides.
I see both sides.
So pick a side. Pick a side to stand.
I'm gonna say
Stand on.
I'm gonna say meaningless.
Is meaningless.
Yeah. I'm gonna say meaningless.
All right. And I'm gonna say no, it's not. Go ahead. You want me to go first?
Go first.
Validation is not meaningless because I do feel like if I'm gonna argue on this side of stuff, social media exists on like purposes.
Right.
And some people and stuff will have some people that they don't know in their personal lives.
Yeah.
To even get them a little motivation and stuff like that to make them see like they're being seen.
Right.
Right? So I feel like it's not meaningless because even I only have like 7 likes to a post.
Yeah.
I'm being seen by somebody and they get me and they understand me. So it doesn't have to be an army, but it means something enough for me to keep possibly existing.
Right.
Seen.
Okay. So.
Meaningless?
Meaningless.
Yeah.
Back to that social media.
Mm-hmm.
People are buying hundreds of thousands of likes just to look and feel important.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do their posts, you may only see 4 or 5 or 7. Why bother then? You know, it's what did it really do for you? It became, that whole thing just became meaningless.
It made me feel so feeling that even if I can see the numbers, because like I would look at it stuff as some people look at their bank accounts and stuff and like, yo, I mean, I have nobody that likes me, but I have $50 million in my bank account.
Right.
And that is good enough for them. The money is better than people. So I look at it stuff, the likes of him actually just dealing with a face-to-face human interaction.
Yeah.
This is good enough for me because I don't like people.
You don't like people. Yo, shout out. Yo, I was watching this. People, when you have significant others and, they make you watch the corniest stuff. The other day, me and wife were watching this movie. This movie, let me give you the premise of the movie. This girl, not too all the way there.
Okay.
Right? Falls in love with this other female who's like this health fitness guru, social media star.
Okay.
Right? So she's like, and this girl's like hundreds of thousands of followers, right? And this girl's like, shit, I want to be so much like this girl. You know what I mean? With all these followers and you know what I mean, and have all these things, all these likes and so forth like that. So what does she do? She changes herself to be more like this girl, moves to the city where the girl's at, and kind of applies to be one of the people who are on the show. When she realizes that she's not going to be one of the people on the show, but you know, help and stuff like that, she starts bumping off people.
Like clap murder?
like clap, clap, but like in a way where you don't know. It's like a whodunit. You know what I mean? To eventually, she gets like buddy with the main girl, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just showing you on the social media end how her numbers are just starting to change, are starting to build and so forth like that, right? And it's like, wow, she really now gained this whole notoriety, being somebody else who is not typically her.
Right.
And then something happened, and I think she lost her spot. And then when she lost her spot, her numbers dropped.
Yeah.
And then when she started seeing her numbers drop like that, she couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So now the change starts all over again. Now she's looking at something else. Now she's bumping off other people to get in a different position to the point where she's not looking to bump off the woman who she admired in the first place to take her spot.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Love of likes.
For the love of likes.
I think, and I think, well, okay, yes. In a case like that, like just the hypothetical of it, whatever, is extreme.
Yeah.
But like at stuff is like, people do it all the time. I seen some of these streamers, right? I want to say, let's look at, I guess, shout out to India Love. So I saw India Love somewhere, whatever, right? And I think she went to the gym earlier that day, whatever, and she went to some store to buy an outfit. And another guy who's a streamer and stuff, whatever, a rookie streamer and shit like that, whatever, right? Or I would say his numbers ain't to her numbers and stuff, whatever.
Right.
So she said, oh, you streamer too? Okay, cool, whatever, right?
Yeah.
This man want to now eggs up himself or push up himself and say, you know what? You shopping right now? Your $900 outfit? Don't worry, I'll pay for it. I guess the flex for his streamer.
Right.
He's buying India Love some shit, whatever, right?
Right.
She's looking like, okay, do it. Boy's card declined. And now he's now shamed and now defeated and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And declined and stuff, whatever. Like, you hyped up yourself.
Right.
To go do this.
Put yourself in that position.
And again, because if it's kind of like, oh, he would be that guy that bought her some stuff, maybe some of her streamers like, who that guy?
Right.
And then so forth and stuff. And again, more validation.
Right.
There's some of these streamers and stuff, I don't even know their names and stuff, whatever, right? But they're known out here to be like, okay, freaking guy on the Podical Sons, I don't know you. You don't validate me. Look at my numbers of streamers. They validate me. They probably don't know your middle name or your real name. But okay. All right. More power to you. So again, the validation is stuff, whatever, right? I see it. I try to look at it stuff as where the validation stuff between people and interactions and stuff should be more of a personal thing.
Right.
Like a reach out and touch.
Yeah.
I don't think validation from social media is like the likes and stuff, whatever, should be something and stuff to that regard. Because I think, that's a dopamine hit where I feel like a person give you a soul filling kind of hit, right?
Right.
So let's say like your wife.
Okay.
A random woman validating your nice outfit or something like that online compared to like your wife telling you like, oh, you look hot. Come jump in this bed. Let me fuck the outfit off you or something like that. Whatever, right?
Right.
Which is more important?
Yeah. Come here, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
So I look at it as like those things and stuff, whatever, right? Like okay, let me ask you, what does your wife do to validate you? Effortless bars.
Oh, damn.
Just give me one thing.
Compliments all the time.
Compliments?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I hear like,
And the expression of love. She's big on that.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is real good. Because I look at it stuff as like, some men don't know how to take a compliment.
Mm.
Right?
Right.
And some men are not used to women giving compliments and stuff like that. I saw a post and stuff where it was an interracial couple.
Yeah.
And the wife, who's white, she's talking to her black husband and stuff, whatever. And she's like, you're not just the provider in this house.
Right.
You don't only keep us afloat, you keep us going and stuff like that, whatever. The job you work, you bust your ass and stuff, whatever, help provide for our children and everything like that, whatever. And then plus you provided a way to help me start a business, to help feed, start the Christian bread thing in the community and everything like that, whatever.
Right.
You're more than just a worker.
Right, yeah.
You're a king.
Yeah.
And I was looking like, and then the comments, because like they're heavy set people and they're like, oh, this is what the white women will say and stuff. I was like, you guys removed all the beauty.
Yeah.
This man just got validated from his woman. And it wasn't even like she was doing it with a phone in her hand.
Right.
It was more like the webcam in the house or the camera in the house.
Right.
Caught everything, security camera.
Okay.
Caught everything and stuff for that. And then it just happened to, I guess, either they pulled it up or someone else's stuff put it up and everything like that, right? But I was looking like, and the husband was just in shock and awe. But I'm looking like, you need that. And even like we're in June, men's mental health, that is empowering.
It is.
Very empowering for most men to hear.
It is.
A compliment and stuff, much as from the person that desires you.
How defeating is that for somebody who doesn't get it to see that?
This is why they search for the likes. This is why they need the likes. Because somebody might not get these things and stuff, or the look or the validation and stuff like that, whatever, right? And when they look at stuff, whatever, especially if it's from somebody that they don't know,
right?
You know how soul-filling that might be and stuff, whatever?
Yeah.
They're just, they're eating on what you're snacking on.
Right.
They're looking like, I can probably never have a wife, have a nice house and stuff like that, whatever. But hell, somebody complimented me on my outfit.
Yeah.
That's as good as it might get.
I'll take it.
So it's more of a vibe and stuff like that. And like I said, I see both sides. To be honest, if I'm on your side of stuff, whatever, I don't need your validation.
Fuck y'all.
I'm gonna argue for them because they're like, Mark's so violent. He's always anti this. I'm on y'all side today. I'm clapping for you. Clap City.
Clap City.
You ready to finally cook with the show?
Yeah, let's cook.
Yo, we had an hour of freestyle talk.
That's good. Oh, gosh, I feel like I'm on them.
Feed up.
You know what I mean? This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now.
We'll keep it brief and stuff, whatever. Do you care about celebrity relationships?
Nah.
You're a liar. Trump and Elon broke up. You
yeah. That you're right.
Oh, okay.
That I cared about.
Okay. Bust your head, Gotti.
Why? Why you guys break up? Huh? Why?
All right, so now you realize that they're now on beefing now, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Who you got though in this beef? Because I look at it stuff as like, I know you a lot of times you always wait like and say like, oh, don't worry, it's all a farce or it's all just spectacle and everything like that, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel for these two individuals, they're petty enough to take it there.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I don't feel like it's a farce.
No, this I don't think is a farce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I don't think it's a farce. And I think it's more of Musk doing the things to progress his standing, whether that be financially or whether that be in some particular type of leadership role.
But he's
doing whatever he's doing to get to that point, and he's aligning himself with whoever can take him there. Because I don't think he started off as a Republican person. I'm not sure, but I don't think he started off as like a Republican person. but just knowing that certain values that Trump may have had, that he may have aligned himself to. Plus, Trump is a businessman, and usually businessmen will align themselves with businessmen. So I think a lot of that, I think a lot of it was, I'm gonna do you this because you're gonna throw me back the favor. So, and then, you know, when he got that plan for Trump and realized, no, Trump about to cut some fundings that's beneficial to you, I think that's where it's like, okay, I helped you get to where you were. This is where the reciprocal favor is supposed to happen. Now it's not happening. You pretty much screwed me.
Would you... That had a lot of layers. All right, let's start with, is America an oligarchy now?
I think it is.
Okay, so then with people like Elon and stuff, whatever, and I want to say the many millionaires of Texas,
Right?
Because a lot of people went to Texas for a tax break and everything like that, right?
Right.
My next question after that now would be, now that we know it's an oligarchy within North America, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Elon had the power to, let's say, make himself richer and chose not to, or everything he was doing was to make himself richer?
I think everything he was doing was to make himself richer.
Now, bring it back to Trump now. It's the same thing. Everything to make himself richer or not making, or make America great again, so to speak.
Oh, no, to make himself richer.
With that, okay, so now in the oligarchy and stuff, whatever, or kleptocratic kind of state of mind and stuff, whatever, are there no honor among thieves? Why would you expect Trump to have your back?
Yeah.
When just the DOGE father, the Department of Government Efficiency, you know, they killed something like that with the watchdogs that Trump had in place that he fired in January.
I think Musk was wary of it, the potential of it, being a businessman. I don't think he expected it to happen so soon. I think.
Okay. All right.
I think
now we cooking.
Yeah, I think he thought there would have been enough time for him to kind of achieve what he wanted to achieve before it happened.
Nah, boss.
No, Trump is a different beast, bro.
February, March, April, May. 4 months.
4 months.
For that motherfucker to be like the Nazi salute, whatever, all the cocktails and drugs. He said, you see your Trump saying he was a drug-induced junkie working for me and everything like that, whatever. Like, he went from the Nazi salutes and stuff, whatever, to like, he's leaving with the key that Trump gives everybody.
Everybody.
I seen everybody get that golden key. Only give it to special people. Like, he gives it to everybody.
Trump got 20 of them just sitting on deck.
The reporters couldn't even wait and stuff for them to say, like, yo, boss, what's up with your eye? Oh, I told little X to punch me in my eye. He did. What father tells his kid, hey, right here now.
Right here. The kisser.
Right in the kisser. I was like, yo, boss. I was like, Elon, you need to know for a fact that, like, and if it falls on his ears or if it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah.
He needs to know and stuff, whatever, for a fact that, yo, there's no honor amongst thieves.
None whatsoever.
And the people are going to come after me like, oh, Trump is not a thief and everything like that, whatever. But I was like, well, what's the current state of the U.S. right now?
Yeah.
People can't even feed. I saw a story. A man lost 21 pounds because he had to eat less because his pregnant wife is getting ready to have a baby and stuff like that, whatever.
Right.
How is Trump living his high life, going to and fro and everything, and you have people in your country
this is what's
going
happening.
through decisions and shit like this, whatever.
Yeah.
I have friends and family and stuff, whatever, looking like shit done rolls up on them and stuff, whatever. Trump living nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like he's taken from you.
Right.
Thief, no?
Thief.
Okay, all right. They set the rules. I'm just repeating it.
We're just here repeating it. You know what I mean? Just letting it all be known.
4 months, man. Yeah, and oh yeah, your boy EA said he was sad that they broke up. Like,
He was sad.
yo,
He wanted the bromance to continue.
that guy. Put like this: is DOGE or the Department of Government Efficiency making the government more efficient?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think Musk knew that from the get, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, because he was expecting certain things to happen for him
Mm-hmm.
in a timely fashion, he went along with the playbook. Because you see how he started shitting on it as soon as he realized things weren't gonna go with him. Oh, this is gonna the tariffs is gonna, put a strain on the economy. You weren't saying that a few weeks ago.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The tariffs was one. Then the other thing was the whole electric car plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Biden had the money and stuff, say that we're gonna hold this money for the infrastructure, and Trump's like, no.
Right.
But then the Doge and everything, I think it was 160 billion. They found
Yeah.
that was wasted and stuff like that, whatever. And like they only claimed no, okay, so I think it was 160 billion. He said that they have found by the end of April.
Right.
And then I think it was, like say close to 60 billion they had like receipts for.
Right.
And then I think another 30 something billion have receipts for, and the other 60 they didn't have, whatever. But I'm like, 6 million, that's a lot of fucking money.
A lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
Then hey, get your new lotto ticket for your $60 billion draw. So that's a lot of dollars.
That's, what do they call it? The black, that something black one where it just, where that money disappears.
You're right.
And you there's no account of it.
And that's what I'm saying. This is not on his watch.
Yeah.
Right? And even if he realized that this is too much or this is not going to go his way and stuff like that, whatever, I feel like within the past few years, and this is including Canada and stuff like that, because I don't like talking about other countries compared to like the one we're living in.
Yeah.
But I look at it stuff as where a lot of countries need to look at their government efficiency shit. And
100%.
I'll say this, like the most beautiful thing and stuff that I saw like in the recent years was I think the mayor for like or like the governor of like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
When the bridge collapsed.
Yeah.
The bridge was back up in 12 days.
In 12 days.
12 days.
12 days, yeah.
That's efficiency.
That's damn good efficiency.
That's efficiency.
Damn good efficiency.
That's efficiency. We have road work on highways and stuff, whatever, spanning for how many months? No further questions.
We've got one road that's been a decade plus.
How many potholes in certain type of places and stuff like that? They ain't going nowhere and everything like that. Government efficiency. Jeez. All right. Great. So that's a hell no for me.
It's a hell
no. We have to remember, folks, yes, June is Pride Month, but neither one of us are homosexual or part of that community, but we are men.
We are men.
This is Men's Mental Health Month. And we just like to check in. Even the convo that we had earlier and stuff was a good check-in and stuff on mental health, and where most men, not even most men, who can't speak for all men, but at least men like us, it's good to see that dialogue can happen.
Right.
Open thoughts and stuff like that. You're able to share some type of things, because some people and stuff, whatever, they have no one to share anything with, right?
Let me ask you, when was it first decided that June would be Men's Mental Health Month?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Because and the reason why I say it is because last year was the first time I caught wind of it. Last June was the first time I caught wind of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just very few posts I seen about.
I think it might have been more recent in the newer years. Let's just say like recent years.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because they shoved everything for men a lot in November.
Yes.
November
Right. Right.
and everything like that, whatever, mental health and all that type of stuff for men and
Right.
everything like that. International Men's Day. They try to jam pack a lot of things and stuff there. And then now recently things are spread it out.
Yeah.
Right. And I think maybe, I'm not saying stuff like maybe because men need to be seen more
Yeah.
or heard more. Let
Yeah.
me say that. But I look at it stuff as where at least it's not condemning them to like, or men's mental issues to like might be blurred with the Christmas wayside.
Right.
Because
Right.
I look at it stuff with the November thing and stuff like, oh, it's beginning of November. Most men are growing a mustache from November.
Yeah.
And then silence.
Silence.
Radio silence,
Yeah.
right? And then it's all about Christmas and Christmas sales and all this type of stuff and everything like that too, where it's sad.
It is.
It's sad because I was looking at like some of the like celebrity people that committed suicide, black men,
Right.
right? And there's so many of them, and like for the regular folks, there's by the hundreds and thousands.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about like, the guy, I forget his name, Sam, he was like famous Jet Jackson. He killed himself. Chris Lighty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I was looking at that and stuff, and I was like, yeah, just because they have fame and money, that don't mean the stuff they don't go through the same kind of mental health things.
It doesn't mean
that like I want to say, not even typical average man might go through.
Right.
Right? So I look at it as,
and in some cases, the fame and money might amplify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might. It might, right? Like, and again, I think that those men or those young boys to men, they need to find a way to try and find the balance, right?
Again,
but I think
that
that
key word,
it's
balance.
easier said than done when you understand self.
Yes.
When you're discovering self, very hard to find balance.
Very. Yeah.
Right? So I think that like an older person, and I'm not even putting age and stuff on it, or more mature. Let's say that I'm a more mature person.
Yeah.
Will kind of look at it and stuff and say like, yo, you know what? These are wants, these are needs. This is one area to start, but I need to know self.
Yeah.
What do I like? What do I don't like?
Right. Right.
What makes me smile? What doesn't make me smile?
Right.
Learn more about yourself, then you can find a balance. You can be like, oh, okay, I like this part of the movie. I freaking hate when the credits come on and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
So you know for a fact, and it's getting dark, and we're shutting it off.
Right.
Find your inner balance and stuff, whatever, when you find understanding of self.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of people are looking external.
Okay.
Instead of internal.
Okay.
So I feel like you have to look at these things and stuff that, kind of makes you tick and to find. But I think like when you don't know and you're launched out there into the real world, and much as in that celebrity world, and it's amplified and
it's
stuff.
amplified,
whatever,
yeah.
God be with you or whatever religious deity you believe in, or if you're atheist and stuff, whatever, but it won't be easy.
No.
It won't be easy. So my next question to you would be like, what keeps you up at night as a man? Now, it doesn't have to be nothing personal, but like as a man type of thing, like a man issue that's going on in the world, what kind of would just be on your head and stuff, whatever? Because I look at it and stuff as like, for me, I rock.
Right.
Like the expectations of just being a straight man.
Hmm.
The funny thing too is stuff is not like I'm questioning anything about sexuality.
No.
But it's looking at stuff as like, yo, you can't, I sat somewhere like this.
No, and they got at you.
And I was looking like, yo, I gotta stretch now, dog. So I'm using my sitting as like partial stretching. I'm about to get older now and everything like that.
But,
and you get what I'm saying?
But since when did that one become? I thought it was this that was.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But like, I guess they're looking at it like, oh, it's only a minor time for you. It's like Sharon Stone that shit. You might
see your leg sliding.
Yo, like, yo.
I see your leg sliding.
Yeah, I see your leg moving. Like, he's got something going on. And I was looking like, for me, even like recently and stuff, whatever, I think like I'm getting called like some of my people's stuff, whatever.
Right, yeah.
You know what my new name is? White boy.
White boy. White boy.
They call me white boy.
Why they call you white boy?
So I love music.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There's no, if you know me, music is my life.
Yeah,
I'm listening to every damn thing.
yeah.
I have favorites in every genre. I'm fucking around one day, whatever, I went from listening to the Locks,
Okay.
If You Think I'm Jiggy,
Yeah.
to like Rod Stewart. If you think my body, and you think I'm sexy.
Which is not a bad transition.
Because that's where it came from,
not a
right?
bad
That's where the Lock
transition.
song
That's
came
not
from,
a bad
right?
transition.
So
Right.
that's what I'm saying and stuff, whatever. So I'm jamming to it, whatever, and I pull up to like a homie spot, whatever. And he's looking like, yo, walk on.
Wagwan.
You're rocking out in the car now? Like,
How old is that?
that's some white
How old
people
is that
shit.
homie? Let me ask.
How old is he?
Yeah.
42?
42.
42. He's older than me.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, you pull up to me that I'm rocking to the Rod Stewart too.
Right. But then again, a lot of people and stuff, whatever, like even certain people and stuff, like I move different, right?
Right.
Even to your wifey. I think one time in one of the spots and stuff, whatever, I think she was flipping through the channels.
Yeah.
And who was it? I think it was I hear the song. System of a Down, Chop Suey. It's a rock song, heavy rock song. Wake up! Grab a lean up on wake up. And your wife's like, how do you know this? White boy. You listen to white people music? So
But when you're a fan of music, all music is music though.
but that's what I'm saying. Like in this world with this whole mental health thing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I guess I have to be a monolith. I'm doing anything. I'm doing things that please me, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm living and stuff like that, whatever. But then there's still, I'm gonna say societal pressure, but even pressure or peer pressure and stuff, so to speak, amongst like my peoples.
Right.
Because it's like I have to listen to like one type of music because I'm from a type of place.
Yeah,
Or because I'm from a typical kind of elk.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm gonna listen to everything. If I like it or I don't like it and stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like that song Chop Suey over I like something like, I'm thinking of a black song or so to speak, whatever. Like, I'm sorry, Drake. The Nokia song is just annoying to me, whatever. It's catchy.
It's catchy.
But it's just like when you hear like, who's calling my phone? Who's calling my phone? I support Drake. I live in the North.
Right.
I had no problems with you, my guy. Whatever camera angle and stuff.
Yeah.
I look at it stuff as like, yo, like there's certain songs that I'll just rock with and everything like that, whatever. And White Boy comes out, whatever, right? I was looking like, but I'm dark skinned.
By the way, we still got the rock yacht coming, the yacht rock coming. Yeah. Oh, he's still been cultivating it, so it's coming. It's coming.
There's black and white songs in there from Lionel Richie to like, like Foreigner.
Foreigner.
And that's what I'm saying. This is the music I like.
And again, you mentioned those names. As a music lover myself, I instantly know who you're talking about.
Man, I've been waiting for a girl like you. Come into my life. That's what I'm saying. They're not black.
They're not.
I'm not gonna just break my neck to only listen to black music. I'm sorry.
No.
And then one of my other homeboys and stuff, he's like, well, black people invented all the types of music and stuff, especially rock music and everything like that. I'm like, okay, but a black person didn't make that song.
Yeah.
But then it's problematic and stuff, whatever, in certain type of levels. And I'm like, I understand the Beyonce thing now. I used to cuss Beyonce and stuff, whatever. But I look at it and I was like, you want to call it country? Fuck with it, dog. Do your thing. You want to call it Renaissance, like dance, electric? Do you, man?
Do you?
Be like, you don't have to be pigeonholed to one type of genre.
No.
And just even those things and stuff, whatever. So I look at it as like, now I have to look or act and move a specific type of way just to keep peace. Just to not to be ridiculed.
Just not to be white.
I know. I hear white boy more than probably Drake might hear white boy. That. But yeah.
Directed at a double chocolate brother.
Yeah. Dip twice.
Dip twice.
Dip twice. Skin shines and everything. Whatever. They're like, no, smooth it out. Dip him again. God's like, dunk him again.
Dunk him one more time.
Yeah, man. But I think for the most part of stuff, whatever, I think, and I'm not going to speak for you, I feel like there's certain things and stuff where nothing should keep you up at night
Yeah.
as a man. But again, the societal pressures and stuff are always there. And
I tell you that the only thing that would probably keep me up at night is that everything is changing so quickly as far as as far as monetary value, people earning less and things becoming more expensive. Is what am I doing right now going to be enough? I think that would probably be the only thing that would, kind of have my thoughts at nighttime.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So somewhere it's still finance. Finance does fuck with people and stuff often, especially men.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a thing and stuff where like men are just always protect and provide, right?
Right.
So the provide aspect and stuff, and I feel like that's a typical man kind of thing, like kind of thought.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying women don't get played with that thought and stuff as well, but I feel like a lot of times and stuff, whatever, especially when you have a heterosexual relationship, it's kind of like certain things are expected of you, right?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like we've noticed or we've seen men who get labeled brokey,
Yeah.
right? Because they might not have the means and stuff to kind of provide and stuff to that level for certain things, but the times are changing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think what is it? Know your limit and play within it. That's OLG's thing. I'm a firm believer and stuff in that, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Certain things and stuff, whatever. You have to really live within your means and stuff, especially to survive certain of these darker times.
Yeah.
And certain principles like saving is big.
Oh, huge.
Is major.
It's huge.
That get rid of FOMO and everything, because if you don't go everywhere and stuff, whatever, you could use those time to kind of just save, whatever. Like when you said earlier, you and your wifey and stuff sit and watch shows and stuff like that together.
Yeah.
Compared to like you pay a subscription like this to have so many movies or shows at your access and stuff, compared to like saying you're gonna go out to the movie theater over here, you go out to this movie theater again.
Right.
And this shit will kind of add up and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
Work within your means. And I feel like men and women, but mostly men, again, the heterosexual things look like, babe, I might not be good with my money.
Yeah.
You're a man. Sort this shit out.
Sort it out. Sort it out.
Yo.
No, it's, and again, I think what makes it more noticeable to me is, again, the type of work that my wife does.
Mm-hmm.
She's always interacting with like senior citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them express how they thought what they were doing in their time would be enough to carry them through the retirement stage.
Right.
Only to be at this age of retirement and understanding it's not enough.
Facts.
Right? And there's, you see it. The Walmart greeters, like, they should be at home kicking it, chilling, you know what I mean? Some of them do it. Some of them do it because they don't like to just sit around. You know what I mean? Some of them like to be active.
I'm gonna do it just for the experience.
For the experience.
Maybe one day. Maybe a week.
A week. Yeah. But then you have some of them I really need to, I need this to make ends meet.
Right.
So I think not necessarily, again, we live within our means. We do, the right things. We save, we invest here and there. We try to create that nest egg. Is just that nest egg that we're creating. In the future, what does that look like, right? And I dabble, like, I'm not big in the whole crypto coin space, but I say to myself, let me at least enter it, because who knows, tomorrow they might say, okay, we're done with paper money. I don't want to get caught with my pants down
No.
and getting screwed. So let me just have a little. Let me put a little toe in that space just in case.
And I think not to but to alley oop what you were saying and stuff like that, it's more of a self-awareness
Right.
/ just being plugged in aware.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Where I look at it stuff is where it's a lot of falsified information and stuff on the socials.
Yeah.
So you don't know who to sue or who to really cuss and stuff for that info.
Right.
But we've polled this stuff where people don't even rock with the news like that, right? So the fact that you're still rocking with the news stuff to kind of look like you might get an alley-oop or a heads up and stuff, whatever, or a head start to say like, as of this day, they're going to cancel or they want to plan to cancel, coins and everything. Because it's so funny to me when hearing people like in America talking about like, they're finally canceling pennies.
Right.
And pennies have been canceled here for like over years, over a decade, right?
Yeah.
So and looking at stuff is like, look at them doing a scramble now, like what to do, cash in the pennies. Right. They're like in a little mini frenzy, not a major frenzy and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But now some people looking at stuff is like, I guess the phrase pinching your pennies or counting your pennies is not going to sit well. Yeah, we live here. Our lowest coin is a nickel.
Our lowest coin is a nickel. And
that might be something to change.
And they even thinking about changing that.
So I look at the stuff as like, yo, the saving aspect and stuff, whatever, is real out here. And then the other aspect of stuff is just being plugged in.
Right.
Right? Just to be like in the knowing and aware. So that's when people's like, no, I don't watch the news and everything like that. Like I know a couple.
Yeah.
I know a couple and stuff, whatever. Like same thing. Husband watches news. Wife says she hates the news. You're like that too.
I'm like that.
But like my homeboy and stuff, whatever, like we're talking about like, I want to say maybe your woman might watch a little bit, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just like if you're watching it for the bit, she won't disturb you.
Right, yeah.
And she walk into the room, she's like, let me tell you when I hear no fucking news, man. And I was like, what the hell just happened? What happened to the, hey, Marv, thanks for coming over. To like, turn on the fucking news, man.
Yeah, are you over here supporting this crap, Marv?
Yo. I'm like, how I get dragged?
Co-sign this shit?
I was like, it's just good to be aware.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of them? She's like, oh, no, you got a podcast. So you might need the information.
You get the pass? You get the podcast pass?
Yes.
Clap City. Clap City.
But I was just sitting back that day. I was sitting back minding my business, drinking the beer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like these things financially, I feel like will get the best of most men. Much as in a world we live in where if you don't have enough money, you might feel inadequate.
Yeah.
I hope to the ones that are listening and stuff that they don't feel like they're inadequate. If you can't do it by yourself, partnership is a hell of a thing.
Hell of a thing.
Partnership is a hell of a thing. And I don't even look at it as even sexually and shit like that or like in a relationship, whatever. I think I found it so dope where tribe. There's a house of like, I think like 4 guys. They live together.
Yeah.
And they're gamers. Right?
Yeah.
They're all gamers and stuff, whatever. I think 2 actually work an IT job. And I think 1 works in like grocery store. Like he works like in a grocery store.
Yeah.
He's like one of those
Did they find each other through the gaming community?
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, dope. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They found each other and stuff, whatever. And they're looking like, hey, cost of living in Toronto is fucking high.
Right.
And the guy's like, so how much would you have and stuff, whatever, and everything like that? They're like, all right, this person has this person has this. And they said that the 2 guys used to live together.
Okay.
2 of the guys used to live together. I think 2 IT guys used to live together.
Yeah.
But they're looking like, we pull our money with 2 other guys and stuff like that. We could basically have a house.
Right.
And we basically run it. We can decorate, split the cost and stuff, whatever. So bedrooms look like bedrooms. The basement is a gamer's haven. Everybody has their own station with their screens.
Okay.
It's plugged up. It's decorated to each man's zone and stuff,
dope.
whatever.
That's
I
dope.
fucks with it, whatever, right? And they're like, if a man moves out and stuff like that and everything like that, or they find somebody, 2 of them have girlfriends.
Right.
And like 2 of them have girlfriends and stuff, whatever. And like one's like, my girl wants us to move out and everything like that, whatever. They're like, cool. They're in the process of finding another guy.
Yeah.
If you're a single guy
do the same
and everything, because if we break our lease, our price changes.
Right.
And I'm looking like,
That's dope.
and the guys in total, let's say the IT guys might make more, but like I said, one guy works in a grocery store, he works for no frills,
Yeah.
not to put his business out there.
Yeah.
And another guy and stuff, whatever. I forget what he does, but I look at it stuff as like, yo, they're working with what they got.
Yeah.
As I said, they came together.
Yeah.
One man said, yo, I don't make that much money compared to like this person and stuff like that. But when it comes to paying my portion and everything, I have this money to pay and I do this. I'm seeing a lot of places like old Madison House Bar and stuff that has turned into like a communal living thing in downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as like, yo, work with what you got. Fuck the validation of others.
That's it.
Okay, I jump back on the other side.
Yes. Jump.
All right. Let's get into question of the week.
Question of the week.
We'll try to keep it short since we had you guys and stuff, whatever. Question of the week. Are villainous purposes justified?
Villainous purposes justified. Give me an example.
Thanos. Was Thanos wrong? You and I
Thanos wasn't wrong. I don't feel like he was
exactly.
wrong. Yeah.
Because I look at it stuff as like, okay, we were at 40 million in Canada.
Yeah.
If we had half the population and stuff, whatever, that means there's so many people, so many other places that need to be rented or sold, house-wise and everything like that, whatever. House prices would drop drastically.
It would.
Because it's like you're building a whole bunch of buildings and stuff with not too many people to live in now. Way less than you expected.
The house pricing, food.
That's what it says, like everything. Resources.
Yeah.
Was Thanos wrong? Thanos was considered a villain.
Yeah.
They try to stop him in two. Now I look at it and stuff on a smaller scale and stuff. I feel like your goals might not align with my goals.
Right.
And that's okay. When my goals don't consist of a person such as yourself.
Yeah.
Just as an example.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like it's a problem to you? This person, or I've come to the decision and stuff where I looked at it stuff as where this is where I want. This is what I want. This is my ambition. This is what I'm going for, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't need you in this aspect. And it's not a transactional type of thing.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where if I wanted you around or I needed you around, you be around.
Yeah.
Because I've chosen to take stances like this, I've now been deemed as the villain.
Right.
I'm protecting my personal peace. I'm trying to watch my own back. I'm trying to protect from backstabbing, let my guard down, caught slipping and all that type of stuff. I want to have the right people around me.
Right.
And if you realize you're not the right people, why is it a problem?
It shouldn't be a problem. I think the focus should be more on if I look at you or if I deem you as a person that I can hold in high regard, right? But you may not see me the same way, or you may not feel like I hold you in that high regard, right? It should be up to me to find out, how do I change that? How do I now say to myself, hey, look, Marv, you know what? No, man, I may have not expressed it before, but I really mess with you. Like I really fuck with you. And my bad for making you feel like I didn't.
So start from a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I change that? And because I look at it sometimes, whereas again, we also go back to, we can't expect ourselves from others.
Yep.
Right? And then there may be a situation where that person genuinely does not look at it or see it as anything wrong, but you view it that way. So now, when it comes to the point where it manifests itself, all of a sudden, then they might be feeling like, well,
I was excluded.
or what did I do to be excluded? When it might just be simply, what did you not do to be included?
I like that.
Right?
Well said.
So now, if I'm smart enough, and I wouldn't even say smart enough, if I cared enough,
Yes.
if I cared enough, right?
Clap city.
And and I really say, yo, nah, bro, like I really mess with you.
Yeah.
How do we get back to that? Like how do we repair this? Because I want it to repair. That's the other thing. I don't want it to just I don't want us to just walk away and say, it is what it is. It ends here, and we move on our separate ways. No, you know what? Let me figure out where it broke. How can we repair it? If we can't repair it, we can't repair it. But if I'm willing now to say, hey, can we repair it? And if you're now willing to say, I think it can be repaired, then I don't see any reason why we shouldn't figure out a way to just make it happen.
So okay, then, and I'll use it as like the comic book characters and stuff of the past. Why couldn't Superman and Lex Luthor make it work? They've been at it so many times and stuff, whatever. It's kind of like, again, like you have heroes and you have villains, right? I look at it stuff as that you don't think in some spaceship or form they could have exchanged words. Like I said, communicate, be like, hey, man, why are you always doing this, Lex? Hey, man, Soup, why are you fucking with me?
I think it's just too much of a polar opposite. Now, on the flip side of that, I think if Thanos really sat down with some of them niggas and really said, yo, listen, this is the problem that I see, right? Because us, not in the movie world, we can identify with Thanos. It's not that we're not criminals. We're not.
I don't know. They're gonna look at you.
We're not villains.
They gonna look at you.
We're people who see certain perspectives, and I think if he sat down and said with the Avengers and said, listen, this is how I look at it, and they might say, okay, you know what, you have a point there. Can we figure out a way where we don't have to snap away half the population? Because
I want to pick.
Okay,
I want to pick a few people.
Right. So that becomes the idea now.
Yeah.
You may be snapping away somebody who's going to be ultra important, right? So maybe okay, let's not make this snap a random thing.
But me and my homeboy, so one of my homeboys and stuff, whatever, me, him, and his wifey had this conversation.
Yeah.
And she's like, she wants to pick. And I said, I'm with her.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? And my homeboy's like, if it's a non-discriminatory snap, we're just clapping off 50-50.
Yeah.
He's like, you just pick up the pieces from there. Right? But I'm looking like, let's say if you're Thanos and I'm one of your henchmen, I don't want to possibly go because I'm helping you to achieve your freaking goal. And I'm looking like, why I'm achieving your goal and then now I'm going now, whatever. So I want you to choose who you're not snapping away. Thanos, smooth.
What if
Smoothos?
What if you snap, right?
Yeah.
You snap half the population away, right?
Right.
30% of that 50 that you snap are women.
We have to start sharing women now. We have to start sharing women. You bring her chocolate, I bring her flowers, man. And we both have usher dance-offs on who takes her home for the night. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I don't want to join. I get it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You can't just haphazardly, because you also got to think about what's going to happen in the future. You can't haphazardly snap.
You can't haphazardly snap.
You can't haphazardly snap. You can haphazardly clap.
Yes.
You just can't haphazardly snap.
Snap. And I feel like, again, us looking at, like, some people might be hearing this or seeing this, be like, what's Thanos wrong? These guys are fucking assholes that they've signed with Thanos. The nerve of these guys.
Nerve of these
and
guys.
everything.
Nerve.
Guess what, Smooth? You're the villain of the
I'm
week.
the villain of the week. I'll take it.
I look at it stuff as where I don't want to be any type of villain. I'm in my own type of world and stuff like that, whatever. But again, I am a clapper.
Yeah.
And, I'm trying to protect my peace like fine China. And don't make a scene because I'll make a movie. Well, leave it like that.
Leave it like that.
And even that sounds villainous.
It does sound villainous.
Leave me alone.
It does. It does sound
I want
villainous.
peace.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's keep
But I mean, at the end of the day, you should always be looking to protect your peace first and foremost. And again, if something has happened along the way where
You look like the villain in the process of protecting your peace.
yeah,
You're not looking for validation from those people.
no, you're not.
And we're right back to the beginning.
You're not. It's funny because even like a friend of mine, like a friend I deem a friend. We would WhatsApp each other back and forth, and the other day, like I sent him a WhatsApp message to him, and I didn't get no response. Right?
But you saw it was red or something. You saw his checks.
Yeah, and I was like, this is but I figured, okay, so maybe person might busy or whatever. A few days later, I was like, yo, I just shouting out just to see how you're doing, but I haven't heard anything. Just want to know if all is well, right? And then I had asked a question, and then weeks pass.
Weeks.
Yeah, like
So this is a few days after the
I was
first
to say not
message.
weeks, so I want to say maybe about a week.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, we good? Because now I'm like, we communicate frequently. All of a sudden now, you ain't even replying to my text. So then after I said that, it was like, the person was like, oh, I was away on vacation. And I'm just getting back now, just getting back in the swing of things. And I'm most definitely going to answer your question. That was almost 2 weeks ago. So like, okay, I don't need to know anything else than this. Clearly, something happened and maybe you're just not interested in communicating. And that's fine. Right. You know what I mean? Life's a train. People get on, people get off. The train has to keep going to its destination. And that's just that.
I think, yeah, I like that train theory. I feel like I would love for a lot of people to jump on the train and stuff like that, whatever. But every seat you have to earn merit. Like, you're working hard for the seat,
right?
On this train of Marv and stuff, so to speak, whatever, right? And I feel like a lot of people and stuff think like there's no work involved and stuff for them to get a pass on the train, right? And I think that's where I get labeled and stuff, and I'm like, no, but I know you,
right?
I need a seat,
right?
Be like, why? And then because I said why, I'm labeled villain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when does my internal growth come as your disrespect? But I look at it stuff as like, I've set a boundary that not everybody is welcome in on the train.
Right.
Because you thought you had a Willy Wonka pass when I showed you that it wasn't.
Right.
And now I'm labeled a villain.
What if, as opposed to saying why, you tell them why they don't have to speak? Because again, I'm going back to that whole
communication aspect.
That whole communication aspect, and a lot of times, people think that they're doing enough and not understanding that they're not. And again, they may want that seat, right? So the why is to find out, okay, what is it that I'm not sitting in that seat?
That's
And
fair
if you
because like when you're saying it like that,
Yeah.
I understand your perspective from you and the individual
Yeah.
to the WhatsApp thing.
Yeah.
Because you're looking like, yo, why? I don't understand. What happened?
Right. Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah,
Right? And that's fair.
Yeah. So and I asked you, yo, what happened? Like, I liked our conversations, right? Like, what happened to make it stop? Because if it's something that I did unknowingly, then let's address that because
Right.
there's probably something that I can fix.
Right.
Right. But if I don't know it and you keep it from me, then there's no chance of it.
Without a
being
doubt.
fixed.
No, I get 100. I agree with you. I look at it stuff as where, again, anybody that asks me the why,
Yeah.
they get the why.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the thing is stuff is that like no one's asking the why. They're just willing to just, what's the little step ladder to get to the train.
Right.
They're looking like, wait, what? Why you move the step ladder for whatever, right? You can't ask why when the train is already getting ready to take off.
Getting ready to take off.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at stuff as like, yo, the train sat there for a bit,
Yeah.
cultivated, getting ready, fueled up, loading up the passengers and everything like that, the participants and stuff like that, before train took off.
Right.
Right? You can't expect the train to be in the same place where it was and stuff before.
Right.
I'm not that kind of train.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as like, yo, I've grown, I've learned, I've seen some things, I've understood some things. Hell, we're talking about the whole sage moments and everything like that, whatever. You hear me, I talk about it all the time. To the new folks listening to the show, I'm on a quest to be a bootleg, to be a sage.
To be a sage.
The Black Uncle Ira. If you know who Uncle Ira is, Avatar.
If you know,
Last
you know.
Airbender.
If you know, you know.
So I look at it stuff as like that, whatever. And I'm looking like, I'm not going to wait for everybody to jump on the train when it's going.
And as you shouldn't.
And the thing is stuff is that, but if you ask,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
I will give you undivided attention,
Yeah.
the time, and we'll have this convo and stuff like that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But again, going back to like the birthday thing, I'm not going nowhere where I'm tolerated. I'm only going places where I'm celebrated.
Right.
So if we're doing this shit on my terms and my conditions. You see me slap this hand and say this damn phrase and stuff, whatever. Cause I look at this stuff as like, we're at this point now where a person will feel a type of way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, open up the dialogue from you because I know I put in the work already.
Right.
And I'm looking at stuff as like, it feels one-sided to me. I've mentioned it previously.
Right.
I don't know if you care to understood or to hear my words and stuff, whatever, until you realize shit ain't sweet but the cologne.
I think that's it. I think a lot of times people may hear it, but I don't know if I don't know. Again, it may be a situation where don't expect you from other people. They may be saying, well, I operate like that. Why do you not operate like that?
True. But I look at it stuff as that we shouldn't underestimate anybody.
Shouldn't.
Right?
Yeah.
There's ants in Africa that eat people. They're like yay big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you have a full human midget such as myself and everything like that, whatever, but you're going to underestimate me or you're going to not respect me or you're going to downplay me or you're going to talk down to me or you're going to think like I'm insignificant and stuff, whatever. I'll be trash to you, but I'll be a star over here.
Right.
I'm going when I'm celebrated. I'm treated like a star, not trash.
Yeah.
So I look at it stuff as that if you decide or a person decides, I heard a woman tell me this in the past, whatever. I'd said something to her and I think it was like words of encouragement. I can't remember what it was.
Right.
Whatever. But let's say it was Associated Sons, whatever, right?
Okay.
Say it was the one like, some people got to treat like a star and just love them from afar. Wow. Oh my gosh. Who said that? That's what the woman said to me and stuff, whatever. Sound like a Gandhi quote. Gandhi. No, it's Marvin, okay?
Yeah.
It's Marvin, not Marvelous. It's Marvin. Why would you think that? See if you can find that anywhere else and stuff on the internet and everything besides here.
Right.
I just can't see you saying that. So you look down at me.
Right.
You think you're better than me.
Right.
You have an inferior superior complex. I'm not that significant to say something like that. You put those words without the image and stuff, whatever, to Mahatma Gandhi, rest his soul, over Marv.
Over Marv.
Just the person you're having conversation with. Okay, since I don't feel like I'm celebrated here, let me go where I am. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been pulled up and stuff, whatever, right? And I look at it stuff as certain people that have been pulled up. You said, you taught me this, and I learned this lesson from you. I'm not telling people to listen to our podcast.
No.
You find it, you hear it and stuff like that. I'm not begging you. I'm not looking for your validation.
Right.
I'm not that kind of person.
Right.
But I do know and stuff for that. It takes support for this train to move a lot faster.
Okay.
So if you're not giving support to this train or helping fuel this train, why the fuck are you here?
Right.
Label me a villain. Paint me as a villain. Put it on the wall.
Right. Yeah, I see it all the time. It's like this podcast is not for everybody, but it's for somebody, and it's okay if you're not that somebody.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're not that somebody.
So that's it, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Wrap it up with the Ask the Sons. First Ask the Sons come from Jimbo Jones. I like the name.
Jimbo Jones?
They think they slick. I like the name play. Jimbo Jones 1022. Have you slept with friends and still remain friends?
No.
Really? It's one time at band camp.
It's one time at band camp. It's always band camp.
It's one type of stuff. I say this. I think it was situations that we both knew and we set up rules and we understood some things.
Right.
And we were at this point where we just said to ourselves and stuff, whatever, like, this is just for the event.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep it copacetic. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do that. Some people and stuff are going to get attached and everything like that, whatever. But it was a situation and stuff where it's kind of like, you were curious? You were curious? We might not have an opportunity like this again. So
yeah.
Looking like, okay.
So the friendship didn't change in the slightest bit?
No, the friendship and stuff, whatever, just changed to the fact that, like, I want to say, like, the jokes and stuff, whatever, like, the little, inner jokes.
Right.
Was more of like a, this is how she said, we're having a conversation and stuff, whatever, I want to say, like, maybe like 2 years ago or something like that, whatever, right?
Right.
Be like, I don't know if I can do all like that, whatever, but, my head game is phenomenal. I was like, yeah, I do know. She's moved on and their life and everything like that. Life is good for her. We homies and everything and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I believe she's engaged now. So I look at her stuff and it's like, yo, again, life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good. And I understood for what it was and stuff like that. And we're not like buddy.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as like, we're still homies enough for her to say, like, at that time, our worlds wasn't that intertwined.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be different if we were like girl next door besties growing up together.
Okay.
But I look at it stuff, we were not that like entrenched in friendship and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Nico87. What's the darkest secret you've discovered about someone after they passed away?
That they were not somebody else. They were not a specific person's child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. I went one time with it was one of my boys' father. This was in Cleveland. And my mom, terrorist.
Mm.
It was a boy, one of my homeboys and stuff, his father passed. We
Right.
sat in the back and stuff like that, whatever, because, we kind of left the front for the family and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on, like, the coffin and everything going on up there. My mom and stuff, she came with me and stuff like that. She sat right next to me.
Right.
And she's like, yo, don't the kid down this bench down here look like your boy?
Oh, man.
I was like, what are you talking about, dog? So she's like, you don't see it? I was like,
You don't see it.
okay, whatever. So I just went back to praying and everything,
Right.
just somber and everything and stuff, whatever. So nowadays, like, they about to close the coffin.
Okay.
Because this is the beginning of the funeral.
Yeah.
They got to close the coffin to commence the service and stuff like that, whatever, right? That boy and the lady I was with him was walking up there. My boy's mom start yelling at her like, what the hell are you doing here? Stuff like
Right.
that, whatever. And she pointed towards the boy and said, he needs to see his father one last time. So I'm looking like, my boy didn't even know he had another brother. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, your mom spotted.
She knew.
Your mom spotted.
Spot him, got him.
Clap City. Clap City.
Clap City. All right. And the last question comes from TallCanDrunk. TallCanDrunk says, what is something that you know is bad for your mental health, but you do it anyway?
Intrusive thoughts.
I speak minds, though.
Yeah, you speak yours.
I speak mine. I think probably compare myself to other people's success stories
Yeah.
and staying up late. Because I realized the stuff whatever, like, I want to say older and older and stuff, whatever, like there's times where I need to be a little bit more alert.
Right.
And when I'm sitting there and stuff, even like at work sometimes and stuff, whatever, now, whatever, I'm like, oh, I'm sitting here too long, too comfortable.
The nod factor?
Yeah, because like I'm sitting there and stuff, and I'm feeling comfortable and everything, like reading something and stuff, and I'm just like, just feel my eyes getting heavy. I'm like, because my bunk ass gonna go to my bed.
Oh, I mean, we spoke about that before. Are you
Certain times
developing more techniques? Because even when you set times, right? I find it like, even for me, like I have a set time that I may go to bed,
Yeah.
but not fall asleep.
My problem is winding down. It takes me a while to wind
That's
down.
my problem too.
So my thing and stuff is that like if I'm wounded down, I want to say what I've noticed is that whatever, if I'm giving it a take, probably almost 2 hours it takes me to wind down.
Really?
So that's my problem, because let's say even like last night, whatever, like, or even like early in the week when I was watching the Halliburton game, right?
Yeah.
The Pacers game.
The Halliburton.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Shy.
What kind of disrespect are you on tonight?
Sorry. No, the one he did the final shot, whatever, the clutch win.
Yeah.
When I was watching that game and stuff, I was like, cool. I was hyped up and everything like that, whatever, right? I wasn't home. Now I got to get to the house. So I got to drive awake and aware.
Yeah.
And everything like that. Then start doing my routine to kind of wind down and settle down and stuff, whatever.
Right.
From the game ended to that, it's like almost 2 hours and stuff before I'm finally feeling at least a little bit tired or just nestled up like that, right?
Yeah.
My winding down time has to be down a little bit earlier, so, but I realize the stuff that like my day goes, and then when I have those days that are slower than others, whatever, I'm going to my bed early.
Yeah.
I shut it down a little early and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving my spot, kick my feet up, and I'm going to shut it the hell down.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, man.
All right.
We are here.
We are here.
We made it. I'm going to keep it under 2. I'm going to keep it under 2. And keep it under 2.
And we didn't fall asleep in a comfy couch.
No. I feel great in this damn couch right now. I feel feeling sexy.
I mean, as if we won't not try to do this again.
A lot more energy feels different on this couch.
We might not try to do this again. I mean, we love our setup, but this is cool. This is good.
All right, man. So say the Suns this week for you guys stuff is, may your days be filled by rhythms and not by reactions.
So says the Suns.
I hope everybody who's hearing this or reads this and sees this and stuff is that their days and stuff, you find a song of the day. You take that song and stuff and try to just use that to kind of just give you a momentum, a little vibe and stuff for it to get through it and stuff like that. From traffic to getting work to whatever case and stuff, whatever. I want to say people that don't, like some people just react to their deep sleep and they have to react to their alarm clocks.
Yeah.
They have to react to the traffic shifting and stuff like that, whatever, right? And then they take that and say, I'm having a bad day.
Right.
Like, let's not go with the reactions, go more with the rhythms. In the words of Gloria Stefan, the rhythm's gonna get you.
Gonna get you
tonight. So say the Suns.
So says the Suns.
We appreciate you guys rocking with us, man.
Always.
Like, hilariously inappropriate, intellectually beyond belief. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all streaming platforms possible. Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius
has its limits.
We don't. Peace and love, y'all. Peace.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King.